All right, welcome to After the Whistle, episode 2.8. I'm Brian Moore, Greg Tester, Tom Krieger. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Awesome.
The Bengals lost again.
I bet you jerked out that man's cream this weekend.
Hey, well,
I don't know.
I mean, the Big R, if you all ain't on the Big R train yet, I mean, poor Tazewell didn't have a chance. I mean, I don't care if half the team was hurt.
You might need to hold that.
They still won.
Yeah, that was 41 yards offense for Taz.
Boys, you all want to bring up the Big R, we'll talk about that here in a minute. If y'all don't have them in the top two this year, or this week, there's something wrong.
Now, the Macho Man said it best. The cream starts rising to the top. That's what's happening, I have to admit. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's starting to come around. I hate to
They
hear
could
it.
beat the Cowboys right now.
I can see that. And
And the Bengals.
I want to talk about Cowboys.
How about them boys? How about them boys?
Hey, we might-
Are they
Hey,
playing
we
bad
might
on
get us
purpose to
coach
get
now.
to get Jason out? You think they're
If they don't get them one now, something besides football's going on there, boys. If they don't get one now, I mean,
and they play Philadelphia this week?
yeah.
You win 3 in a row, they start talking Super Bowl, and they ain't won since.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes. All right, well, we'd like to thank our sponsors real quick. CarQuest Auto Parts, Hurley Pharmacy, Economy Drug, located in the Plaza in Grundy, Wooden Horse Grill, Grundy Auto Sales, Buchanan Therapy Services, and Buchanan General Hospital, and of course, as always, BELLACINO'S,
always
Pizza
forget me.
and Grinders, right here in Grundy, Virginia. All right, fellas, it's time for Buchanan Therapy Services recap from last week, and not a lot of
Shockers. Coach Tester went 12-0.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Tester, 12-0 last week.
Yeah.
And,
He picked a Big R.
I picked the big U, too.
We'll talk about that here in just a minute.
Where's them games at?
All right, we're talking about the games from this past week. Before we even get into them games, a couple things. The ratings came out, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later on in the program, because now you're starting to get an idea of how the playoff picture is going to start shaping up. We don't really know for sure, but things are starting to take position now.
And who's going to be playing
yeah,
who?
who's going to be
looks
playing
like.
who, and who's going to be in and who's going to be out. So we'll mention that a little bit
Where's
later
them
on.
games
as
that
well.
we wrote last
Oh,
week?
from last week, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I actually think I had Pistol destroy that piece of paper. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, let me have that pistol. Hey, there's Pistol, guys. The man behind the scenes.
You got the mic
Didn't
on,
do it
Pistol?
without him.
The man with the plan and the $1 million tank.
All right, game we picked was, let's start out here with John Battle at Y Central and 56-34. I mean, not a shocker.
No, nothing surprised me there, but you was there, wasn't you?
I was there.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, we offensively, we come out and got started, played really well. I don't know if we might have punted once or twice, but like I said, we got everybody involved. Quarterback looked good, running back line up front blocked well. We just got on them quick. They hung around. They come back and matched the score right there in the second quarter until we end up getting a couple stops and taking control of the game. And we just had a lot more speed than they had, and they played hard. John Battle played tough. They played hard, but we actually come out and played a pretty good ball game.
Big district win for Y Central there. Pretty much had the game in control by halftime, though, right?
Yeah, I think it was
28-14.
28-14 at halftime. So from there on out, we, like I said, they give us.
Did Battle have the lead?
It went 6-0, 7-6, 14-12. So they matched us score for score in the first quarter. So then we defensively we adjusted.
Just wore them down.
All right. What we got next?
All right, next game. Marion at Great City. Didn't fare too well for the Hurricanes.
That was somewhat of a shocker for me. Not the score was the shocker.
55-0.
It wasn't a hurricane, it was a tropical storm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that.
I mean, that was
I
scored
figured-
early and often. And Marion was on a 3-game winning streak, I
yeah,
think,
I thought
wasn't
it'd
it?
be
Or-
closer than that.
I did expect the game to be closer, but I think all three of us picked Gate City in that game, and rightfully so. Gate City improves to 2-5.
That's going to be good enough for me here in a minute.
But you know, Gate City had dropped 5 straight after that big early season win there. So, but they're back, seem like back on track.
They had that big R hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some Mance cream this week. All right, guys, we got Graham at Lebanon. Graham 41, Lebanon 6, and that is very generous. I mean,
Yeah, it was very generous because Graham had 41 at halftime.
Yeah, we all expected that.
Lebanon
so.
falls to 0-6 and 0-3 in their division, their district, and Graham pretty much did what they wanted. But Lebanon's still a very
They
young.
scored.
They're a young ball team. They're still, fighting through this, and I think Lebanon's still going to get somebody before the season winds out.
Next game, the Big R at Tazewell Bulldogs, boys.
I was hoping you'd have to wear some. green
Total
today.
domination. I mean, say what you want. This player's out, that player's out. All the Big R's doing now is winning.
I've seen some complaints on might have been on Southwest Sports. Someone was arguing because the Tazewell coaching staff still had several first teamers out there. Tazewell doesn't have a huge roster, and they've got some key players injured. They can't afford to take certain players out of the ball game. They've got to leave them in. People are sometimes just critical when they
And
don't.
and here's the thing, you leave those players out and say, well, we're resting them. Oh, and give up. Coach give up on them.
Exactly
He
right.
give up. So
Yeah,
it is vice versa or whatever they
I think
say.
it's the 17th consecutive backyard brawl that Richlands has won. So, that's a long drought for Tazewell.
Oh yeah.
When we were in school, Tazewell was very dominant, and of course that was a long time ago when they wore leather helmets.
They were state champions in
They were state-
1988.
87. Yeah.
Was it 87?
88's when we beat them.
Okay.
Won 21
Bulls,
straight.
Don't bury them, man. Don't give up on them.
Well, Tazewell's still 4-2. They've got a decent,
Too many banged
respectable record, but they only had 8 rushing yards and 4 first downs. So Tazewell struggled big time. Big R.
It wasn't struggle. I mean, they played the best team in the area.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So that was good.
yeah, they did okay.
Yeah, all right.
All right, next game we have Virginia High at Falconland. Abingdon 49, Virginia High 13.
Virginia High drops to 0-6. They're one of 3 teams in Southwest Virginia that don't have a win. Lebanon is one, and I'm trying to think who the other one is off the top of my head. But still, it's a bad start for Virginia High, which still has a pretty decent group of athletes, but they're struggling.
Virginia High and Lebanon.
Uh,
Virginia High and Lebanon's too.
They're 2 of the 3. Yeah, Virginia High and Lebanon. I'm not quite sure who the other one is.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, it is what it is.
Fort Chiswell at Galax. Galax 52, Fort Chiswell nothing, and that yardage was probably under 40.
A whole lot to a little.
Yeah.
Galax continues to roll.
Let's see what else we picked here. Covington at Narrows. Narrows 42, Covington 14.
NARS improves to 6-0.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was a close game, and then Narrows scored 28 unanswered points.
Yeah, Covington. I was following the Twitter feed on that, and it was.
So they're 6-0.
Yes.
6-0.
6-0, at number 1. Honeacre at John I. Burton 54, Honeacre 7.
I'll tell you what, they rated the Tigers in this one. That score, it surprised me. I expected Burton to win. We all 3 picked Burton to win, but I did not see that coming.
Well, Coach Tester said it from day one that Burton,
It's pretty good.
like eye candy, like watching them is pretty daggone good, and they're starting to prove it here in the late part of their schedule.
Jamin Buchanan for Burton, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, 135 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he also ran for 2 scores for Burton, so he was Mr. Everything there.
I see the score of that game was 7-7 in the
First.
In the first, I think they scored and Homeacre drove it back down and scored, and I think they blocked a punt on Homeacre, and from there, they scored 28 unanswered in the
Yeah,
second
27,
quarter.
I think 27, 28 unanswered points in the second quarter.
All right.
And Homeacre also had a couple players out too, so.
Northwood at the Clift. Hurley 47, Northwood 0, and I think Northwood probably only had like 40 yards.
47 total yards of
47
offense.
That's
total
what I
yards of
thought.
offense. So that's a big shout out to the
That's,
Hurley defense.
That's back-to-back defensive.
Check this out. 7 Hurley players scored a touchdown. 7 different Hurley players scored a
I
touchdown.
believe that.
So big night for the Rebels homecoming, I think, over at the Clift.
Big win there. Well, like you said, defensively, back-to-back games, holding Grundy into check, and now Northwood. Riverview at Twin Valley. Halftime score 30-22, but you know the game don't end at halftime. It ended up being 58-28.
Why'd you even say a score then?
Just
You know,
as good
why-
game up till
Oh, it
halftime.
was a very entertaining.
Just
game.
the same way you said Homeacre 7-7 after the first quarter. At least I added another quarter to it.
It was a
I was
very
just talking
entertaining
about
game.
the 28 unanswered, so.
But you guys, I think you'd seen him earlier, the kid from what number 32 from Riverview.
The fullback.
Yeah,
He's
Jacob
tough.
Justice.
Justice, he's tough.
He's a good one. All right. Twin Springs at Castlewood. Castlewood 10, Twin Springs 6.
Thriller over there. As a matter of fact, Twin Springs scored at the end of the game, make it 10-6, and unfortunately weren't able to close it out. But that was a kind of throwback to an old Cumberland District game many years
What was
ago.
old Castlewood's Jekyll and Hyde?
I can't figure them out. I can't. I swear
Nobody
I
can.
can't. They looked great in the scrimmage, beat Homeacre, then. So
Go figure.
yeah.
What's that say about Homeacre? All right, Rycove at Eastside. Eastside 53, Rycove 16, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 20-16 at one point.
Grayson Whited for Eastside blew it open though, 5 touchdowns.
I believe it because we played
Five
against
touchdowns.
that kid's pretty good. He's pretty quick.
Uh,
I think he had a brother's out for the season, which also was really good. That's hurt him a lot.
Well, Eastside jump out 21-0, and then bang, Rycove just like that. It's 21-16 going into half. Rycove has the momentum. Come out in the second half, and Eastside blew it wide open in the third quarter.
Holston at Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry 42, Holston 13. Let's see.
I think one of Patrick Henry's backs is not playing right.
Oh, was one of them
I
out?
think one of them's out.
Uh-oh.
An interesting thing about Patrick Henry is 2 games in a row now that they have, I ain't gonna say abandoned the run. They haven't done that, but
Throwing it a little
they're
bit.
throwing it a little bit more. They're
Well,
trying
they
not
know-
to be so
well,
one-dimensional.
well, thing
One of their
is-
backs is out.
Well, and they're going to have to do that once you get deep in the playoffs.
Dakota Rector with 3 touchdown passes for the Rebels, and yeah, like you said, they're trying to develop more of an arsenal going into the playoffs.
Quick one here. Thomas Walker 54, Hancock, Tennessee 24.
Well, I don't know any of these teams that Thomas Walker's played.
They're winning.
I don't know any of them. Where they at? Tennessee, Kentucky?
Oh, that
Tennessee
was-
and Kentucky.
That was
But,
Tennessee.
you can, 2 minutes you can be in 3 states down there. You can go stay in the middle of the road and turn right and be in
I
Kentucky.
tell you what, they need to do. They need to put the Black Diamond and the Cumberland together.
I
So
agree.
they all
with
have
that.
games.
I agree.
There's not
100%.
4 teams in the Black Diamond.
Let's
and
talk
how,
about that.
And how many? You got. Well, let's go into our game of the week, guys. Union versus Ridgeview. Union comes out on top. Actually, it wasn't even close until they made it there at the end. They scored.
As I told you.
You did.
As I told you.
But that's.
They had the people to shut Atkins. They didn't shut him completely down, but
No.
119 yards is
They
shut down for him.
contained him, yeah.
Well, you can't have a lot of yards when you're getting the ball inside the 20.
That's true.
In the second half.
Well, they'd give it to him 3 times. So
Yes.
It should have been worse than
Union gave them the ball inside the 20 or right there at the 20 3 or 4 times in the second half.
that. Polier.
What was it?
240 yards for
That was a
Polier.
91-yard touchdown run.
Right up the gut.
Travis.
And that's right after Ridgeview had a lot of momentum.
Yes.
Got that big surge, and then boom.
They needed one stop in the Polar
Travis Turner
Express.
brought that dog
The
pound
Polar
tea out there.
Express.
The Polar Express.
There you go. That
But
dog
you know
pound.
what? I'm real shaky with my top 5 this week. I don't know if that's enough. So we'll see here in a minute. But back to the Cumberland District and Black Diamond.
Hold on a minute, man. Did you just say? Did you?
Yeah, he did.
Hold on. Hold on, guys. Union just beat Richlands, Ridgeview, and they beat Graham. The three best teams in the area.
Guys, they injuries.
I at least had them at number 2 before they even beat Ridgeview.
I did
like
too.
I said, I don't know what I'm going to do this week.
We have to wait and see.
Gate City looks awful good right now, 2-5. So I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
It's down to Gate City or Union in that fifth spot.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough call.
We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Is it because Brandy Bostic called you out or what?
No. Polier's a good player.
I love it. The Polar Express.
Polier, 240 yards rushing. Trenton Atkins, 119. Division 1, recruited by everybody. Anybody recruiting Polier?
Polier carried it. How many times Polier carried? 40?
It don't matter.
You give Atkins 40 and they should win that game. Atkins only had 9 carries in the second quarter. And had 70 yards.
We ain't going there. Union beat them.
They did. Union beat them up everywhere.
Not taking anything away from Ridgeview. It's still a good football team.
Speaking of Union, I got a question for you. And this is the question that nobody can answer. What is in the backpack?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me what's in the backpack.
I hope
Look like somebody.
I
I tell you what, it looked to me like somebody just left class and got to the sideline and they're wearing that backpack.
I think it's a new fashion thing. You know how Belichick wears that sweatshirt? They wear the backpacks. There's nothing in it.
But okay,
If they tell me what's in it, I'll put them at number 5.
what's in the backpack? We're asking right now the coaching staff at Union, what is in the backpack? That's the question to everybody.
It looks
wants
like
to know.
nothing.
It doesn't look like it's full. I know that. It is close to Halloween. Maybe it's candy.
I don't know.
Wait and see. All right, that's all we've got for our games of the last week. Covered those really well, I assume.
Well, let's go back and I'm agreeing with Coach Tester on this.
Let's get to that big talk.
Is this all right?
Yep. We'll go ahead and we've got to mention our CarQuest Auto Parts Performance of the Week, brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. Hurley, and it's going to be Mason Polier, the Polier Express. 240 yards rushing, 91-yard touchdown run in the big win that was televised on WCYB.
And if somebody uses Polier Express, you heard it first on After the Whistle.
That's exactly right. Credits here, Coach Krieger. All right, so congratulations to Mason Polier. That's twice he's had our peak performance of the week. Once again, brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts in Hurley. We'll be back right after this from Wooden Horse Grill. Welcome back to the show. Thanks to the Wooden Horse Grill for this segment of the program. Our big talk tonight, we've got one we just started talking about a minute ago. We're going to jump straight into it.
Yeah, Coach Tester said it right. I agree with it 100%. The Virginia High School League needs to put the Cumberland District and the Black Diamond together. That'd be about 9 games right there.
But tell them what led you to this. You looked at the ratings. And you see,
we're going out of here and playing these people.
Yeah, we're Twin Valley.
You can only get 3 district games. You got to find 7 games out of your district.
That's right, and it's hard.
Well, not everybody.
It's difficult to do that.
And people don't want, like you said, drive to Hurley. You asked them. I mean, it is a long drive, but we're driving anyway. Thomas Walker, I don't know how far Hancock, Tennessee is. Probably an hour or so. But they need to put them together and not worry about the travel and play. I mean, how many games would that be? 8, 9? And you only have to find 2 games.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to find 2 games. I mean.
That's right, it is hard.
We're trying to, Mark Cooper, I'm sitting over there, we're trying to schedule games, and I'm thinking, I better beat Cooper to it, because if I don't call this one or that one, Hurley will get them.
Grundy.
Or Grundy will pick them up. And, you know, we're calling everybody in the country trying to find ball games, and it's a lot different to find 7 and then turn around and find 2. And, you know, people say, well, I don't want to drive to Hurley. I don't want to drive Thomas Walker. It's the same distance from Hurley to Thomas Walker as it is from Thomas Walker to Hurley.
Yeah.
There's no difference. And it's only every other year.
That's right.
And that's a very good fix, which,
And just alternate the Rye Cove Thomas Walker game. I mean, they're the furthest ones.
yeah.
And how much easier would it be baseball wise, finding schedule, basketball? I mean,
Yep.
every game would mean something almost.
Yeah, it would do well. You get a district that many teams in it. You know,
That's right.
the old Southwest district was incredibly competitive, and you had to really fight to have a shot at winning some. So that, yeah, because you're seeing, you know, like you talked about a minute ago, you didn't recognize some of the opponents on the schedule.
And that,
Why do we have to keep doing that when we're all the same size anyhow? I mean, relatively, you know, the BDD and the Cumberland is, so we could probably come up with something there that would really alleviate a lot of headaches for us. And
you know, if you're going to find a game, you're going to find a winnable game for you
yeah,
before you go play. But if you're in that district, guess what? You got to just find 2.
mm-hmm.
I mean, and it puts you in a situation like we were at Twin Valley one year. We finished 8th or something like that, and had to go play Galax,
Oh,
Radford. And it was our record. Yes, we had a good record, but we were playing teams equal to us.
Right.
We wasn't playing Chilhowie. We wasn't playing.
I don't know what the numbers is at Twin Valley, but it's similar to Hurley. I think Hurley is the smallest state school in the state of Virginia with a football team.
If it's
So
not, it's right in the bottom 2.
Anybody that they play
It's going to be above.
is above. So I mean,
And you know, I would argue this too. You know, I don't even know where it's at. I'll use Hancock County, which I know is probably in proximity to Thomas Walker. We could go there and play, but we could play a Thomas Walker or a Rye Cove. People are familiar with them teams.
Right.
They know
Yeah.
where those schools are. We'll have a better gate than we would if we played somebody from P.O.T.W.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right. Well, like Montcalm, we've all played Montcalm. Guess what they bring? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They bring no fans whatsoever.
Rarely a team, isn't he?
Yeah. That's
All right. One more thing real quick on our Big Talk segment. We posted this on our Facebook page. We'd love to see what some of y'all think about it. Go on there and check it out. A proposal that some people are putting forth that football players should not, youth football players should not be able to play contact football until they turn the age 14.
I've always with
Now,
science and stuff.
it's
right
because
now.
of CTE. They say if they don't play it from the ages of, 8, 9 up to 14, that's that many years, they won't have any of those hits.
we're just getting soft as a society.
Well, no, well, science, you can't cover it up. It's just, if you've got this on paper saying, it's just like baseball right now. Baseball's done. All they do is analytics. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, we're bringing this pitcher in because analytics, whatever, says he's got the best chance of getting this guy out.
Moneyball.
Yeah, it's
Moneyball.
That's right. Just like that movie back in, that's what they're doing. And if you've got this scientist or whatever saying, if this kid at this age is going to get hit this many times, he's got a 80% chance of being like me, acting wacko.
Well, how come there wasn't this many injuries years ago? How many ACLs tears did you see back in the 80s, early 90s?
No turf. I blame that on the turf.
Man.
I don't remember.
Grass.
I don't even know what ACL was.
Our quarterback in the 10th grade and in the 12th grade blew his ACL out. So I did see it, but it wasn't very common, I'll admit.
So,
yeah, not common, nothing like it is today.
Now with all these cautionary things out here, and we're
You watch a college game or an NFL game, they're in behind that tent over every hit.
Oh yeah.
And you got to say the right things or you're done.
Yep. It's the state of the game. We talked about this back in the very first episode about how.
One good thing if they don't play till they're 14, they ain't gonna have a lot of bad habits.
Well, that's true. They won't have any good habits either.
No.
But that's true. They wouldn't. What would you do? What would you do if that was the situation? Would you have 7-on-7 and then some type of flag football program?
Yeah, you wouldn't have many people.
They'd be scared.
No,
in my opinion, if you you may have more kids play. Now, hear me out on this. You're doing 7-on-7, and maybe flag football, something like that from Pee Wee up. By the time they get 14, then they put a helmet on, put a uniform on.
What are they saying? They develop.
You may have more kids participating by the time they get to 14, because you know as well as I do, ain't nobody afraid of this. You know, they ain't afraid of that there. All right. So if they're not afraid of that, you get more kids playing. They're either going to be shell shocked when you put a uniform on them, and all of them's going to quit, or you're going to have more players than you normally would have had.
Yeah.
I don't know how it will work itself out. I got a feeling they quit once they put the uniform on.
It's changing so much. If you watch the Cleveland Browns yesterday, Landry hit this guy and they flagged him.
Yeah.
And it was pitiful. Like it was a good hit that he could have tackled him. All right, the next time Chubb broke a run, Landry was out there. He turned his back and held his hands up and got in front of the guy. That's what it's coming to.
I'll give you a last thing on play devil's advocate. If they play touch or flag football up until 14, and then they have to put pads on, you mark it down that there would be a segment of that population that would want to continue playing flag football through the varsity level, and next thing you know, football's gone.
Hey, crap, they're wanting to stay in Little League now until they're in the 9th grade.
I know, that's crazy.
So, they have Little League.
I know.
Once you enter the 8th grade,
you're done. Little League's over.
Little League is over.
Well, it depends.
Not in this county.
No, well,
not in this.
I ain't gonna say nothing about this county because I don't know nothing about what y'all are talking about. But I do know. I coached at a school one time that had 27 8th graders who were all who were 9th graders. 27 8th graders on our 8th grade football team that were 9th grade holdbacks. You know, they were held back.
Yeah.
So we do get a lot of that. But
you was probably a Homeacre at that time, wasn't you?
I ain't gonna say.
Here's what a kid does. He's going to go from playing Little League football. Next year, he's going to be going to varsity.
Junior varsity.
No, varsity. Varsity. In 9th grade. So,
that's right.
At schools like Hurley, so you're going from middle school or Little League to varsity.
It's messed up. The CTE has changed the game. It's forcing all these hands, all these new changes and stuff. And who knows what it's going to look like in 20 years from now, but
I know one thing,
I'm thinking pill fight.
We get that CTE on Friday, you lose, your parents give you that CTE on Saturday.
Yeah,
when you wake up, making you mow grass if you lost, but if you won, you got to lay around and do whatever.
That's true. All right, that's all we got for Big Talk. We thank folks at the Wooden Horse Grill in Hurley. Food so fine that it'll make your tongue want to slap your brains out, so check them out. Up next, we've got our BELLACINO'S Players of the Week. Thanks to the folks at BELLACINO'S for allowing us to record the show here and providing us with food and a good atmosphere to conduct the show. And at this time each week we have the BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. And this week, Coach Tester, we've got some players.
Oh, yeah. A lot of good performances this week, guys, with, Hurley and I think Grundy was off this week, and Twin Valley. We had some good performances up there, but one that stood out to me was the defense of Hurley, only allowing 47 total yards in Northwood, and you said seven people, different people scored touchdowns.
Two of them were on the defense.
Two of them were on the defensive side. Two of them were pick sixes, and just the whole unit is what stood out to me, and it was hard for me to go with an individual this week. So.
And it ain't just this game either that they've been playing.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they had a good game last week against Grundy also. So this week I'm going with the Hurley defense as the BELLACINO'S Player of the Week, and I got 4 or 5 of those guys here to represent the defense. I got Mr. Dylan Hall, who had a pick six. He's been out 5 games this season. For a knee injury, returned to the Grundy game, then played this game and had a heck of a game. He had a pick 6 and 3 tackles. On defense, Mr. Channing Eastep had a pick 6 and 3 tackles. Matthew Blankenship, I think, led the defense with 8 solo tackles. And Tyler Young also has been a big part of the defense, who's come up big. He had 5 tackles on defense this week with, I think he had a big pick 6 last week in the Grundy game. It kind of turned the momentum around for them during that week. So all these guys, we're going to have 4 of these guys up here to talk with us for a minute. Come on now, guys. Congratulations, fellas.
Whoops. Else,
I couldn't get all 11 of them in here, but
you couldn't fit all that.
all right, well, who's wanting the plaque holder? Here we go.
Plaque. Plaque.
All right, guys. I'll start with Channing on my left here. Guys, just tell me a little bit about defensive performance this week, and I know you had a pick 6, Channing, and took it to the house, and just talk about the game and what it's like this week, and with the whole defense performing the way it did.
I was feeling great all week. Like, it was a good practice and stuff. We had good practice and stuff. We was feeling great about the game. Come out there and guess done our job.
There you go. Coach Davis had a good game plan in store, and you guys went out and executed. And Mr. Hall, I know you. I've seen on film. You also had a pick 6 that went to the house, and you've been out the first 5 games. What it feel like getting back and been able to be productive?
Feels great to actually be back in a place and set my sidelines all the time.
I heard that, man. Well, I know you guys were
Especially to get back last week for that game here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Who's next down the line there? I feel like I'm on a dating game here.
Yeah. Player number 4.
Player number 4. You guys ain't never watched that, have you? Yeah, you might ought to try it. Anyhow, I know Coach Davis, known him for years, and he's an excellent defensive coordinator. Maybe the best in Southwest Virginia. Definitely one of the best, if not. And what's it like going into a game, knowing that I know the prep work and everything you do during the course of the week. How confident do you feel, and how confident do you feel in coach and putting you in the right place and stuff?
I feel pretty confident because he knows what he's doing and puts everything in good during the week. So
he puts in a lot of time. I know studying and trying to make sure everybody's in the right spots and stuff. And it's you guys got a good coaching staff over there, and especially the coach there running the defense.
Tyler, I noticed. I talked to you. I didn't. You was one of my candidates last week for Player of the Week after the Grundy game, and there's just so many guys had a good game, and I watched the game. Statistic-wise, you didn't have the best, man, but I felt like you had 2 or 3 crucial plays in that game that flipped the momentum. And I know you had a pick, you had a kickoff return, and I know, having coached you in the past, man, you stepped up in big games, man. And talk about that game last week a little bit and what it was like to do what you did.
We all just come here with rivalry week, come together and play hard.
There you go. Well, man, like I said, y'all played well. You played well, and like I said, and this time last 2 years ago, I just remember I sent a thing on Facebook. You come up with a big interception in overtime over at Homeacre to seal the deal, and hopefully we can do that again this week. So, who's next down over there? We ain't got involved. There's old Matty B. Y'all got anything?
Yeah, you got a big game coming up this week. All right. I mean, this past week you got homecoming. You guys evidently kept your focus because you shut the Northwood out 47-0.
And the week before that, you played Grundy. You always get pumped for that.
Well, all right. So that's 2 weeks in a row. You're totally pumped. You can't get no more pumped than you are for this one because you win this one, you win the district.
Exactly.
What's it like going into this game with home?
I guess it's a little bit of nervousing, but you go do your best and then you succeed. So
there you go.
Well, going in this week, like Coach Moore said, I mean, you're playing for a district championship, and that would be what, the third or fourth in the past 5 years or 6 years?
That'd be the second.
Second.
They would be the only group to win the district
Twice. Okay, that's what I thought.
The senior class would be the only group to ever win the district.
And you
twice.
know, a lot of people don't think about it, but when you play sports, you want to be that. You want to be that first ever or first whatever, and you all have that opportunity this week. And I think you have I think you have a big opportunity to win if you come play like you have been the past 2 weeks. I don't think you have a problem, but you have to get up again for the third straight week. And good luck this weekend, guys.
And guys, one more question, and any of y'all can chime in here. You know, I know Doug Hubbard at Homeacre will have his team ready to play, no doubt. What do you feel that you guys got to do first to win this game?
Stop Trevor Dye.
There you go. Well,
Trevor
you've watched
Dye.
film then.
All right, so that's the game plan this week. Try to get, was it number 34?
Yeah.
Get number 34 on the ground, and you know, I think a lot of teams know that, but like, he's a horse, and yeah, I'm sure Coach Davis will have y'all.
Oh yeah, our defense will definitely be able to handle him.
There you go. There you go.
I'll be ready to roll. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Congratulations to you, and
Congratulations.
Good luck
Good
this
luck.
week.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Guess you got the line.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Thanks to Grundy Auto Sales for sponsoring Stump the Crig each week. And once again, we're going to try to stump the Crig here as we do every week. And so far, we are unsuccessful in season 2, and we were unsuccessful in season 1. But tonight could be the night. All right, I have an envelope here, and this envelope is hermetically sealed and has been placed in the bank vault for the last week under the watchful care of Armed Security, and it was delivered here a few minutes ago in a Brinks armored truck. And the gentleman had a suit on tonight, briefcase handcuffed to his wrist, so I expect a really big question in this one. But nonetheless, we're going to get straight to it. I have not read the question. You have not seen it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the question. It's a good one. If they squeeze olives to get olive oil, then how do they get baby oil?
If they squeeze olive to get olive oil, how do they get baby oil? Well, I think baby oil comes from Tazewell. Tazewell, Virginia, somewhere.
No.
Yeah, the baby oil.
Why is it coming to
I don't know. A lot of babies, I think.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
No, I know what it is. Baby oil comes from the union coaching staff's backpack.
That's what's in the backpack.
That's what's in the backpack.
Baby
is
oil.
baby oil.
Baby oil.
No. What's in their their backpack has Mance cream in it.
So they.
That's why they're secretly using Mance cream.
Maybe they mix it with baby oil.
So they got it off Mance when they beat us.
No, they had it before. It was like Austin Powers going back in time to get his mojo. They went back and got Mance cream, and that's why they're on this winning streak.
That's probably the best explanation I could have.
That's it.
I couldn't have thought of that.
That is it.
So they have
Figured it out.
They got their mojo in that backpack,
No, they got the Mance cream in the backpack.
which is the mojo.
Which is the mojo.
Okay. Well, what about the baby oil? We didn't got totally opposite. Is it?
Baby oil gets from Tazewell.
Oh, okay. So you ain't
They
said-
got mistaken. They went back in time and got baby oil instead of the Mance cream.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard it there, folks. I guess I don't even remember the question. How do we?
They squeeze olives.
Squeeze olives, you get olive oil. Where's baby oil come from? Comes from Tazewell, evidently. All right. Well, we failed once again to stump the Crig, and this segment is always brought to you by.
I got a Stump the Crig question.
Oh wait, you got one here. Out of left field.
I got a Stump the Crig question. How do you not have Union in the top 5 or the top 4 when they beat your top 3.
They had some injuries and just, I can't, Bulls. Looks like Gate City's coming around at 2 and 5. They liable to be number 5. I don't know. They just got to prove a little more to me.
A little bit more.
Just a little bit more. Who they play next week?
We stumped you on that one.
No, you didn't. I answered it. Let me see.
Who they play next week?
Wise.
Wise.
Oh,
Union plays Wise.
Union plays Wise. Will that be enough to put them over the top?
no.
Okay. At least he's honest with us. So don't get no hurry over there in Union if you're expecting anything to happen.
Is it at Union? Is that Union Station? Do y'all have to go to?
That Wise.
Oh, okay.
Wise. So the Poly Express will be rolling into Wise over there next
But see,
week.
every team that Union's playing right now has got injuries. See, Wise has got their running backs out for the year. I mean, Graham was banged up. Rich Lands was banged up. I mean,
That was banged up for Richlands.
the kicker had a
What was the score of
quad
that game?
stretching.
Yeah, quad stretch.
Uh,
Lord, boy, this is hopeless. All right. Next, we've got a little thing here.
I
We're
bet he's
gonna-
got him a Mance bobblehead over there.
Hey, that's a good idea.
You could probably sell them like crazy.
Well, when Manson and them still playing, and everybody else is at the house, then
I agree. They're gonna be tough to deal with.
okay. I'm just saying.
But-
I'm not. Regular season don't mean nothing if you're Graham,
I'm just wondering-
Union,
you're not-
Richlands, or Ridgeview.
You're a former Golden Wave. I'm just wondering why you're on that Richlands train. That was the big rival back then.
I just go with what I see, boys. They're the best team right now.
Yeah, right
They're the
now.
best team right now.
Like it was 4 weeks ago, too, and you picked them one. Anyhow, all right, new little segment here. Doesn't last long, but we throw it in here. Did you know? And Did You Know segment is brought to you by Economy Drug in the Grundy Plaza. Stop by and check them out for all your pharmaceutical needs. It's Economy Drug located in the Grundy Plaza. Did you know? The reason we introduced this little segment here, we'll throw one at you each week. Free kicks. The Buccaneers and the Panthers were playing over in London this past weekend, and it was a scenario that rarely happens in football. It happened recently in a high school game here in Southwest Virginia.
At the Big R.
And it was a free kick situation. A lot of people aren't aware of that rule, and one of you want to tell them about it, you don't need to tell them about it.
Well, I think you just get it on the 50 and they can hold it like a extra point.
Well,
They set up like a kickoff.
it's on a free, it's on a fair catch.
Yes.
If you signal for a fair catch,
It has to be at the end of the half or end of a game. It can't be every time. It has
No,
to be at
right.
the end of the half with 1 or 2, 3, 10 seconds at the end of the half, or at the end of the game. You can have that free kick to try to win or get points.
I thought it was at any time you get a fair catch.
No, it has to be in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what
Y'all
I'm
totally confused me.
Now in the
Well-
now in the NFL, it has to be at the end of the half or end of a game.
Okay, well, anyhow, the call is you make a fair catch, you field the ball. If you choose, you get a free kick. The defense has to line up 10 yards off from you, and somebody has to hold the ball on the ground with their finger. You can't put it on a tee or a block, and the kicker comes through and can attempt a field goal. I think the one for the Panthers is like a 50-yarder, 51-yarder, and he missed it, but they could have scored 3 points. There was 1 second left in the half. And the defense has to line up 10 yards off, almost like you would if you was kicking an onside kick. And he fielded the ball at their own 49, and he tried to kick.
And they can run it back if it don't make
Yes,
it.
they
But
can
normally here is the rule of it. The NFL has a little known rule called the fair catch free kick, which allows a team to fair catch a punt and then line up to kick the ball on the next play without the defense able to rush and block the kick. If the ball goes through the uprights, it's 3 points, just like a field goal.
I'm more impressed in the fact that you could read with the call.
Now, I don't know what the high school is. You might can do it every time. I don't know.
I was under the impression that it didn't matter when you did it as long as it was a fair catch. But regardless, it's a very unique call. So that's something that you rarely see. And we've got a few more we'll throw at you in weeks to come that are very interesting as well. As well. All right, with that being said, it's time for our IGA top 5. So we're going to go to a commercial and we'll be back right after this.
Well, it don't say like at the end of the half or something, but I could have swore them people said that on TV.
Might be. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Thanks to the folks at Dotson's IGA in Hurley, Virginia. They've got meat trays, fruit trays, vegetable trays, anything you need for your party or your gathering. If you get together on weekends and watch ball games or whatever, give them a call. They can hook you up. They got a wide selection of groceries, produce, and meats. And as I always say, they got the best meat selection in town. Stop by and check them out, Dotson's IGA in Hurley, Virginia.
And guys, you hear it every week. There's one thing you can't do at the IGA, and that's beat their meat.
All right. With that being said, it's time to jump into our top 5. And who wants to go first this week? I'm not ashamed to go first. I can and I will. You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, go for
I'll
it.
go first. All right, my top 5 in 1A. Coming in at number 5 this week is the John I. Burton Raiders. They're the big win over the Honaker Tigers this week. Made a statement there, so I think the John I. Burton Raiders are at number 5. Number 4 is still the Chilhowie Warriors. Coming in at number 4. They may have dropped a notch or two in my top 5. I think Chilhowie and Burton's one of the top teams in Region D. Number 3, I got the Narrows Green Wave, who knocked off Chilhowie earlier in the year. They're 6-0, and I still got them at number 3. Number 2 is Malibu Marks Patrick Henry Rebels, coming in at number 2. They are at 7-0 right now, I think, so they are still rolling. And number 1, guys, is Galax. I'm not for sure they wouldn't be number 1 in the double-A poll. So
No, big R.
I'm going with the Galax Mark Dixon and the Galax Maroon Tide number 1 and 1A. Top 5 in my 2A. Coming in at number 5 is the Central Wise Warriors, coming in at number 5. Got a big game coming up against Union this week. Number 4 is Coach Krigger's Big R Richlands Blue Tornadoes at number 4.
So you're saying they're the 4th best team.
Number 3, the Wolfpack falls back to number 3. I had them at number 1 last week. They fall back to number 3. Number 2 is Tony Palmer's Graham G Men at number 2. I think still in the top 3 around here. Number 1 is without a doubt the Union Bears Travis Turner squad. Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, it means they beat Graham, Ridgeview, Richlands, all top 5 teams.
Yeah, injuries.
Minute 42 seconds. That's 12 seconds over, minus 5,000 points, but plus 10,000 for picking Union. Number
Hey,
1.
boys, I'm going to go right after that, and I'm going to go with my single A.
I've always had them at 2.
Single A guys, I've got the Patrick Henry Rebels. They got some injuries. I just feel like that these next 4 can beat them
You
right
got them
now.
at 5.
I got Patrick Henry at 5.
They can, but they haven't.
I got Chilhowie at 4. I got Chilhowie there at 4 just because I'm getting on that Burton wagon. Coach Tester, he said it day 1. He said they're playing some pretty good ball right now, but I'm going with J.I. Burton at 4, which Chilhowie beat them, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be a tie. I mean that's tough.
They beat them, that ain't no tie.
It's tough. It's tough. But I've got Burton there at 3. Got Narrows at 2, and Galax at number 1. And boys, Narrows and Galax and Burton or Chilhowie and PA. You know, Chilhowie is 3. I'll put them there because Chilhowie will be in the finals to play either Patrick Henry or Burton, and I think Galax will play Narrows in that region to come out there. All right, Division 2 guys.
Drum roll.
I mean, Union played one heck of a ball game. But that second half they tried to give it away there. So Gate City's my number 5 pick there. I put Gate City in 5. I think they're playing pretty good right now after a big win. Y Central at 4. Ridgeview drops to number 3. I got the Graham G-Men at number 2. And guys, you don't want to play them. I've been trying to tell you. The Big R at number 1. Win, lose, I don't care if they're 4 and 6. When it comes playoff time, Big R is number 1.
You can't do that
So-
now, though.
Let me recap this.
This is at the end. When we line these up at the end, we're going to see who's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
It ain't at the end yet.
Yeah, it's at the end.
So Union, you don't have in the top 5.
I mean, after this week,
Maybe.
maybe.
This week, maybe. You heard that, Bears. Got something to prove. A minute and 49 seconds, that's at least minus 20,000 points. And another minus 20,000 for not putting Union in there. But, oh well, it is what it is. All right, let's recap my 1A real fast, run through it. 1A this week, I got Burton at number 5. Their performance against Homeacre impressed me. I got Chilhowie at number 4. I think they're the sleeper. I really think Chilhowie could come out closer to the front. But right now I got them at 4. I got PH slid back to number 3. I'm starting to, the injuries and stuff, worried a little bit about them. I got NARS Green Wave at number 2. And I've got the Galax Maroon Tide at 1. Over in 2A, I've got Y Central at number 5. Number 4, I've got Big R, Big Blue Wind Machine, Richlands at 4. And I've got the Ridgeview Wolfpack coming in at number 3. They slid back this week from 1 to 3. I got the Graham G-Men back at number 2, Coach Palmer's group. And I just calling it like it is.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, I guess you could say. I jotted down something here I wanted to show it to Coach Krieger, and I'll get up with
Well,
it.
all I want you to do.
I got the Union Bears at number 1, and I just came in 23 seconds short, so I get a million extra points.
Here's what I want y'all to do. Call each coach on your top 5 and ask them who they do not want to play in the playoffs. Who are they trying to stay away from until the final?
I can see
I
it.
asked them.
Asked them, AXT them.
First one I'm going to say is Graham.
That's true.
Then
too.
Union.
I wouldn't want to play none of them.
then Richlands.
Boys, and Graham's right there too, boys.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's just starting to heat up, ain't it? Starting to heat up. One thing, the Turner Salve and the Bostic Bomb. Turner Salve and Bostic Bomb. That's what it was I was going to tell you. I tried some of it out. Feels pretty good. So I'm going to stick with that Turner Salve and that Bostic Bomb for another week. I do know this. It won't do a thing for your hair because I seen Corey Bostic. He don't do a thing for your hair.
I know. I thought my TV was messing up, so I adjusted the color. And then when it went off of him, it came back.
It was a contrast. the
Yeah,
brightness.
on his head.
Yeah. But other than that,
But that backpack was weighing him down.
yeah, well, yeah. But I did notice something, and we put these in on here before I did anyhow, before I left school. You and I had the same top 5 in 2A. That tells you something right there. Great minds think alike.
We'll see who's there at the end, boys.
All right, that's it.
None of that 5 matters until that region championship, and it leaves at 1.
Yeah.
You got to start running the football, which Richlands is
They-
starting to
That's
do.
right, dude.
Boys, they
Which Travis
figured it out.
Turner from the Dog Pound, double tight T, he's running that football.
He's running it, boys. They run it good. They don't. Every now and then they'll get 2 or 3 yards, but they don't.
They had a little hitch route or a stop route there. The kid took off with it and broke it for.
Gosh, that was a
Well,
good
with
move.
finesse football, and here they are beating you with old-fashioned ground pound. All right, that's it for our top 5. Up next, we've got our Buchanan General Hospital pigskin prognostication. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks to the folks at Buck General Hospital for sponsoring our pigskin prognostications. And fellas, we've got a recap real quick here of our seasonal records. Last week, you were undefeated, 12-0 on picks, 12-0.
What'd that get him?
Nothing. Well, yeah, he did help. He's back.
He went ahead of you.
He went ahead of me, yeah. You went 11-1. That's pretty solid too. Who was the one you missed?
The Polar Express outdid the Atkins plan.
Well, I missed the Polar Express and Union, and missed the Twin Valley game. So I'm now sitting at 53-21 so far on the season. Coach Krieger's 55-19 right now. He's leading the race for the crown. And then up next, out of the last place and back into seconds, Coach Tester at 54-20. So, gentlemen, this week's game is coming up. Coach Krieger, you ready?
Yeah, first game on it. The Union Bears at Central Warriors.
Who you got?
Shoot.
Come on, man.
I think I've made them enough mad. I'm going to go with the Union Bears.
I can't believe you're going to do Big Luke like that. Used to block for you.
He did, and he done a great job. Both just injuries. Union's getting all these teams at the right time.
Yeah, just luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. I mean, they're going to win again.
Yeah.
Injuries.
Yeah. I got Union as well. I think Union just got a little bit too much for Wise on this one.
Y'all pick that game so fast, man. God. Hey, man, I never go into a football game thinking we can't win. Never.
Never.
Never go into a football game thinking if I'm coaching, helping coach, we can't win. It's going to be tough. We got to do all the little things right. We got to do a lot of things right.
But you can. You know that if you do, you win. I agree with that.
Keep the ball away from them.
Yeah, we got to keep the ball away. We got to do a lot of little things.
They're too fast.
They're physical. They're fast. We got to play physical. We got to play fast, and to keep them off the field. And having said that, I believe we're going to do it. I believe we're going to pull the upset. Going with the Central Wise Warriors. What do you think about that? Got Union at number 1, but I'm going with the number 5 team to upset.
How about that, boy? Well, that moved them all the way to 1.
Well, it's hard to win them all.
It is.
Oh, they've already lost.
They have.
See, Paintsville didn't have no injuries.
That's why. All right, who's next?
Lehigh at number 5, Great City, baby, and I'm going with the city.
That one's an easy pick for me. Lehigh's still struggling. Gate City had a 5-game skid after that big win first of the year against, I can't remember who it was now. Who was it?
Who'd they be?
Big R. Oh, yeah, Big R. And
Injuries.
And I look for them to take care of business in this one as well. So I'm going with Gate City.
Who they playing again?
Lehigh. Well, he pays attention, don't he?
Yeah. I'm going with the city. Great City.
All right, Ridgeview at John Battle. Boys, I think, like we were talking, it's going to be close there for a little while, and then
they go kick off.
I got Ridgeview on this one.
Okay. Where's the game?
John Battle.
Well,
John Battle's got a lot of injuries.
I'd shave 2 points off the spread on this one if it's at Battle, but I'm still taking Ridgeview.
The Wolfpack, Duck Dynasty cruising will get back in the win column this week.
Bulls, I did notice that and noticed the beard and everything. And they do look like they've been on Atkins diet over there.
I told you.
They do.
They all shedding that weight.
Yep.
Might be at Thrive.
It could be.
It could be that stuff. All right, Virginia High, Graham. Boys, and to be honest with you, I know we sit here, Big R's good. They're real good. But Graham's sitting back just waiting. It ain't like Union blowed them out.
No.
No, they beat them by 2 points.
I said, boys, Graham's sneaky.
G-Man. I got the G-Man. Virginia High. I'd hate to be 0-6 going and playing Graham.
G-Man.
All right. Uh-oh, boys. Lebanon at Castlewood.
This is going to be a barn burner.
I don't know.
Castlewood.
Which Castlewood's going to show up? I'm going with Castlewood. Jekyll and Hyde, boys. They win 10-6 and they win 54-6.
I'm going with the Wood.
Me too.
Castlewood.
Bulls, I want to pick Lebanon bad. I really do.
Well, right there it is.
There's my chance.
Go for it.
I keep saying they're going to get one.
If they don't get this one, it might be over. Who's their now? I think I seen their schedule, but
I just think they're going to have a hard time moving the ball. I'm going to pick the upset here. I got to get me a win. I'm going to pick the upset. I'm going to go with the Pioneers
That's a
on
good
this.
pick, boys. Good pick. All right, next one. Go back-to-back tough weeks for the Big R. Richlands at Marion. I mean, who does this schedule?
what'd you say? Tough week.
Tough back-to-back weeks. At Tazewell, at Marion.
On the road, both of them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Big R.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pick Richlands in this one. I think they've got a slight edge on Marion right now. Momentum, just a little.
Barely. I'm gonna go with Richlands by maybe a touchdown.
Coach Smith, you got your work cut out for you.
I mean,
coming off that
Coach
HC
Mance,
game.
I'm pretty sure sleeping with the athletic director over there
Yeah, Richlands.
at Richland. So, and scheduling, shoot.
Yep.
All right, we've got Tazewell. Boy, you can't ask for an easier schedule. Bluefield at Tazewell. Back-to-back easy games for Tazewell.
Yep. Who you got?
I'll take Bluefield. Cause the injuries.
Because of injuries. If it wasn't for injuries, you would have said what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Bluefield, they just got too much for Tazewell.
I already played.
Huh?
I thought Bluefield already played Tazewell.
No.
Oh, they have.
Richlands and Green. No, Princeton.
That was Princeton that
Yeah.
they got hurt at. Wasn't it?
10-7, they pulled that out.
Bluefield ain't played Tazewell yet.
Oh, right?
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
I'm going with Bluefield.
All right, boys. East Montgomery at Nars. I'm going with the Nars.
Yeah, it's a green wave on that one. I don't think Eastmont's got much for them. A couple years ago, it would have been a heck of a ball game, but I don't think so now.
All right, John.
Hey, man, can I pick? Yo, what's up? You got
Trying to get through
you going to see Mance or something out of the show or what? Give me the Niles Greenway.
Yeah, it was tough, boys, because Eastmont. All right, John I. Burton at Grundy. I'll let you pick that one first.
Well, Willie Cabanessa Memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't.
Shave 2 points off.
Yeah.
Spread there.
Shave 7.
I'm going with the Burton Raiders.
Boys.
Grundy plays good for a quarter.
Boys, I think Burton is just, they like got right to the top of that hill, like on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And they getting ready to tip over the other side. And I've got the Raiders on this one.
It ain't going to be like last year. Grundy beats them.
No.
It's going to be like the playoff game. I'm going with the
They
Raiders.
didn't beat them last year.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. That was the year before.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
Jai Burton beat them last year. In
At
regular
Burton.
season. Yes, at Burton.
Yeah, because that's when Endicott got on the
He got
ESPN.
ESPN.
That's right. At CTE, boys.
So you don't do your
shouldn't
homework.
start.
He don't even do his homework.
You
for
shouldn't start football until you're 14. All right. We got Thomas Walker at Twin Valley. I'm going with Thomas Walker, guys. It'll be close for a while. It gets wore down. Thomas Walker can throw the football.
I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it will. I'm gonna give the edge to Thomas Walker because they can throw the football. I think Twin Valley struggles throwing the football, so I'm gonna go with Thomas Walker and Nick Johnson.
Yeah, boys, I scheduled that game, so I'm gonna pick the Panthers.
That's a good
I think
pick.
that
I think it's a good
To be
pick.
honest with you, I think they played well this past week. I was impressed with some things. Their defense needs to do a better job making tackles in the open space, but you know they made a lot of good.
Riverview didn't throw it.
Well, now that's true. Riverview didn't, but I think when they throw the ball, Twin Valley can get pressure.
I think that quarterback, what is he, 6'3"?
Yeah.
About 2-something,
He's big.
225. He's a big boy. All right,
Like
we,
that Crigger boy was back.
I wish I was 6'3".
5'7", 225.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather been
Or
6'3" and 223.
What was it?
I wish I was
5'3",
6'3".
480.
Yeah.
Just rolled around down
But
there.
old Tom would throw that ball.
East Side at Twin Springs. I'm going with East Side.
I'm going.
I'm gonna have to pick East Side in this one too. I think they've got a couple quality wins under the belt, and in spite
They've
of
been
the
playing
fact,
tough schedule.
a little bit
right.
tougher schedule, and the fact that Twin Springs, they got some wins under their belt, but I just don't think they're gonna have enough to hang with them. I think it'll be a good game.
I'm going with East Side also. I think the Wiley kid's too much for him.
All right. Let's go Royal Retreat at Chilhowie. Going with the Warriors.
Warriors in that one. That's
How many
12.
games we pick them for?
Got 2 more.
Who?
I got Chilhowie as well. Rural Retreat is kind of a pleasant surprise this year a little bit.
All right, boys. Galax at George Wythe.
That's 5-1 and 5-1, right?
I'm going with Galax.
I've been telling the
Dixon.
people on Virginia Preps, why don't you pick GW? Well, I said they need that. I think they need that one more good quality win before I give them consideration. Boy, here's a chance to get one right here. This is permanent spot in the top
I
5.
forgot about GW. Yeah.
Well, they're right on the cusp of it. You got GW?
I don't have them on there. Yeah, no, I got Galax winning.
I got Galax as well. I think Galax is the class of.
But they're not in there right now with PH, Narrows, Galax, Burton type. I mean,
they are. No, they are.
but they're not. They're not better than they are.
They're in there with them.
They are, but they're not better than they are.
They're
Yeah, they're 6. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't even.
you can throw them in.
I have. I watched them at Richlands at the scrimmage.
You could throw them in this mix, and they could probably beat 3 of these 5 teams.
Maybe. We'll find out. There's one of them they play this Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going with Galax.
All right.
And the game of the week, Hurley Rebels at Honeacre Tigers.
Big time.
I'll pick it, guys. Rebels roll. They have 300 yards of offense again. Nobody has held them under 300 yards.
It's a big challenge for Homeacre's defense. Then you just
It
basically
is, well,
laid it out
and
there.
Hurley's got to prepare for die. If I think that Hurley will stop die before Honeacre will stop Hurley.
Well, I think with Honeacre, kind of what you're saying, I think the situation is there's not just one person that the offense is built around with
Yes.
Hurley. And that's not saying that Honeacre doesn't have other weapons, because I tell you, when Hubbard takes off with the ball, sometimes he's fast,
Yeah.
boys. He can really move the ball. That new offensive set that they're using, they're a lot more effective with it than what they were earlier in the year. But I'm giving Hurley the edge in this one. I think Hurley takes BDD.
I'm going to disagree with some of what y'all said, that Homeacre don't got more than 1 or 2 people that can spread the ball. They got the Dye kid, like you said about Hubbard's kid.
Mhm.
He can take off with it. He can fly. You got 32, don't know his name. He's a Dye. I don't know if he's a Dye or a Casey. You got the
Casey.
number 10 kid, which they were hurt the last games, and knowing Doug Hubbard, he will be prepared.
Oh, yeah, he'll be prepared.
And this may be Hurley's. They will be more prepared than Patrick Henry was when they come to Hurley. Doug will for this district game. So this is going to be a tight ball game. But I'm going a 7-point ball game, 7, 8-point ball game. But I'm rocking with the Hurley Rebels.
Imagine that, boys.
To bring the BDD home.
I think that Brandon holds them at 7 to 12 points.
Well, and I'm guarantee you that Doug and those guys are going to have something.
It's going
Probably
to
a
be
little wrinkle, little something different for her.
It's going to be a good game. Maybe
But
not.
Brandon's seen it. Doug can't do nothing that Brandon hadn't seen, that he can't adjust to, because Doug's been around a long time. Brandon coached for years. I mean, it is what it is, and it's always been a close game, unless if one had more 20-year-olds than the other one did, then that's when usually it got ugly.
Well, I think Homeacre last year maybe won 30-0, 32-0. Year before we won in overtime at Homeacre.
Mhm.
Year before that, Hurley won the district title. I think beat Homeacre. So I think it's gonna be a good game.
Always is. I still think. Like
Definitely
I said,
worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the price of admission.
I think it'll be a good game too, but I'm going with the
With the
Rebels.
district title on the line.
So across the board, we're saying Hurley Rebels
Hurley
will win the
Rebels.
BED. No
Good.
pressure, coach. No pressure, coach.
Good chance of it, boys.
All right, fellas. Anything else we got? That's all of our picks for this week. You got anything else?
Nope.
Well, y'all like giving them that bulletin board material, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, you just say it how it is.
Call it like it is, boys. You got anything else, Coach?
I'm good.
Coach Krieger, you got anything else?
I'm sure he does.
Big R, baby.
Big
Tell me
R.
to talk. Another tough game this week. They got to they got to get ready to go.
All right. Big R.
Union, show me something this week, guys.
Just hitting already.
Polier, if Polier goes for 315, I'll put them in.
All right. You heard it.
Polier what?
315, he'll put them in. All right. Well, that's all we got then for the show.
Speaking of the Hurley Homeacre game, just got a text from Tim Hayes wanting me to comment on the Homeacre Hurley game. Uh-oh. Getting deep, boy.
Getting deep, boys. It's starting to talk it up here. All right. Well, that's great. That's kind of action we want here toward the end of the season as things start tightening up. And overall, pretty good show this week. And hopefully next week we'll have some more interesting stuff to talk about. Until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that if you see an endangered animal eating an endangered plant, I don't know, freak out.
Baby.
Takes the snap, short drop, hits the quarterback.